Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Fast Five. I'm Scott Prather. That is the opinionated, diverse Birdman, ODB. Many of you know him as Jay Walker.
How come I never get to introduce myself?
Because I created it.
Oh, okay. This is his creation. He's going to be saying that when the baby's born next week, too.
Pretty soon. And yes, he is.
Question number 1.
The Ragin Cajun Baseball team's current winning streak can be attributed to blank.
Cleanliness. And no, I'm not talking about that they don't have beards now, things like that. Cleanliness in the field. They've cleaned it up in the field. They're turning more double plays. The errors are down. All of it, just the synergy is there because they've cleaned up that aspect of their game. They've moved up from, I think, 10th in the conference now to the middle of the pack in terms of fielding percentage. The more they do that, the more they'll keep winning.
Overall team play. Scott's right. The defense has gotten a lot better. But so has the slugging percentage. So has the number of runs scored per game. So have the weekend pitchers done a much better job than they were earlier in the season. Their bullpen has continued to remain rock solid. All of the pieces together have really made this team better. Scott's right. The defense may be the most visible thing, but really it's overall team play. They're just better in every facet of the game right now.
Question number 2.
More likely to happen Thursday night. The Saints make a trade to move up, or the Saints make a trade to acquire picks and move down.
Actually, I think the most likely thing is they just run in place and keep the picks that they have. If they're going to do one thing or the other, they'll move up because history says that's what they'll do. Moving down might be the best thing for them. But if they're going to do one or the other, they're going to package and maybe try to move up a little bit to get maybe a player that they really, really want. But I still think the most likely thing is they just keep the picks the way they are.
He's right about history telling us the story, but history would also tell us maybe they've learned their lesson from trading all those picks. They've got 9 picks in this year's draft. They've really put an emphasis on acquiring as many picks as possible. Is that to move up? I think it's because they want to get as many players in this draft as possible. And with recent players slipping down because of character flaws, maybe a player they wanted doesn't fall to 13. So I think the more likely scenario is they trade down. Although I'm with him. Of all the scenarios, they probably stay put at 13 and 31.
Question number 3.
The worst pick in the history of the Saints is
Sean Knight. Sean Knight never started a game. He drafted 11th overall in 1987. Now look, this is an infamous list here. There's a lot of guys that could certainly make the cut. But I'm going to go with Sean Knight. The guy never started. He played in 10 games with the Saints. He never recorded a single statistic. Yeah, you're getting great value out of 11th overall at defensive end.
You young whippersnappers don't remember this. But the worst Saints pick ever was the very first one. Les Kelly, the number 1 pick overall in the very first draft. This guy was so bad, most teams didn't have him in their top 10 rounds. But the Saints thought he was the best bet in the entire draft, so they took him. I win that one.
Honorable mention, Russell Erxleben, Jonathan Sullivan, and a couple of others, but we don't have enough time.
Erxleben would have been my second choice, and then I said it's pretty obvious. It was Les Kelly.
Hopefully this year, whoever they pick doesn't end up on this list next year.
That would be a good idea.
Question number 4.
with UFC champion Jon Jones being stripped of his title after a hit and run. Lafayette native Daniel Cormier will face Anthony Johnson for the strap on May 23rd at UFC 187. Cormier will blank.
Win. At least I hope he does, because the dude doesn't want to be a paper champion. He doesn't want to be a champion that somebody said, here, you're the champion, after he lost the fight to become the champion. I think he's going to be motivated. I think he wins.
It's all about that cake and chicken, and Daniel Cormier is going to bust him up. DC is going to be UFC champion. He's not taking anybody lightly.
It's all about the what?
It's all about that cake and chicken.
Because you know I'm all about that cake and chicken. I'm all about that cake and chicken.
Jay never saw that. We love you, DC. That shows you how much he actually follows your career. Daniel Cormier is going to take home the strap.
I thought it was all about that base. I was wrong.
He doesn't.
So was Megan Trainor.
He doesn't get it.
She got it wrong, too.
DC, we're sorry we don't get to see you in New Orleans, but we're glad we get to see you at UFC 187. Go get that strap.
Question number 5.
Saturday night's Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Mayweather-Pacquiao boxing match will blank.
Underwhelmed. Everybody's forking out this money or going to a local pub. This fight is several years too late. Here's what's going to happen. Mayweather's going to dance a lot. Pacquiao's not as fast as he used to be. He's going to dance a little bit better than that. Manny's going to end up taking it the full distance. He'll win at the end. They'll go all the rounds. It's going to be kind of boring. There's going to be a lot of build-up, and it's going to be extremely underwhelming.
What he said. You know, look, these guys are 38 and 36 years old. This fight happened 6, 7, 8 years ago when everybody wanted it to happen. We'd all be salivating. As it is, it's been so long since you had two big names. It's probably going to set pay-per-view records. What a waste of money. Look, I'll be in Boone, North Carolina, and so nobody's going to invite me to watch the pay-per-view. But if they did, I'd watch like the 9th and 10th rounds of the NFL draft, honestly.
I'll be at a hospital. I'm having a kid. That's Jay Walker. I'm Scott Prather. Fast
That's
5.
no excuse.
Fast 5. If you like these episodes, hit subscribe. You see Jay's ugly
the
mug?
biggest fight ever because I'm having a kid. Your wife is having a kid.
You just called it the biggest fight ever.
Your wife is having a kid.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm having a kid.
He's that annoying. Go ahead and cover up his face with that subscribe button. You want to click it because I want to hit it. Hit subscribe. Hit Jay's face. We'll see you next week on Fast 5.
He wouldn't hit that.